Did you know that the Nike Invincible 3 is a max comfort running shoe? Do you know about its ZoomX midsole? The way it gives you energy return with every step you take. Magically erases discomfort after running and even makes your body want to run despite what your mind says. Now that you know that Nike makes a max comfort running shoe, let's explore what else you're missing from the Nike Invincible 3. Hey, what's poppin'? Jordan Thomas here. Nike is back like someone stole their car or killed their dog with a revenge in this year's version. In any case, I just wrapped up my 50 miles of testing in the shoe, testing it out on a few different surfaces, a few different efforts over a few different durations, and here's what I think about the shoe. Let's start with the good. It's all about the midsole, and that's where the magic in this shoe truly is. ZoomX is phenomenal, S tier, top of the line, best midsole that you can get. And a lot of that is due to the fact of the energy return that's associated with it. So the way to think about this is just for the effort that you put into it, you get a lot more out of it. And you get a lot of cushioning in this shoe with 40 millimeters in the back and 31 millimeters in the front. There's also a wider base in this version. And if you squint, it kind of looks like a baby Alpha Fly. This is definitely an upgrade based on a previous version where it was a bit wobbly as you would round corners. And so this version, happy to say, didn't experience that. The heel this time was also rounded out, so no longer that hard edge that I was kind of critical on the Invincible 1 and the Invincible 2, because let's be honest, the Invincible 2 was kind of like the same shoe. And for those of us that heel strike, don't worry, there's plenty of cushion for the pushing, and so if you hit back there, you'll be totally fine. Think of this as just an overall more refined version of the 1 and 2, and I'm definitely here for it. For the ride, if I was to sum this up, smile for miles. And it says that on the inside of the shoe, and it was true of my experience. This was a fun experience for me from the moment I put them on to the moment I took them off. This shoe feels good for runs less than 30 minutes, your 60 to 90 minute run, even 90 minutes plus. Where I felt like there was the big change from the 1 and 2 versus the 3 was just that after that 90 minutes, it felt like the shoe could just keep going. While it still remained soft, it was nice and stable, and so I felt like my form never broke down in the shoe. Also, when testing this out on the road, track, and grass, you could really feel the difference in overall stability, especially when I ran on the grass, which is one of my favorite surfaces to run on. And the smiles continued when I went to check my watch. Although when I'm running easy, I tend not to think about it too much other than just overall duration, but I was pleased to see, depending on where I was running, that anywhere between 5 and 15 seconds, I was running faster in these shoes. And then there's what happens to you after you take these shoes off. That fresh feeling post-run. I mean, yeah, some workouts are gonna be tough, but in these, it naturally just takes you into this place of just like being easy, having a good time. And so when you come out of that workout the next day or, hours afterwards, none of that residual like pain that can be associated with running sometimes with a shoe or just a tougher workout. And thanks to all the cushioning in this and that, I have no problem saying this should be definitely a 3, even 400-mile shoe. This ride wouldn't be possible without a versatile outsole. And what's nice in this particular version is they started cutting away some of the unnecessary rubber that was there. You still got these kind of pegs that are associated with it, but now you've got some exposed foam and you've got some painted foam. Because I got 50 miles in them, so you can start to see some of the rubbing that's starting to take place there. This continues to be just a durable outsole that is gonna help you get a lot of miles in the shoe. Now, one of the other big changes was the upper. They did a number on this compared to the other one. Yes, it still used Flyknit, but this is way thinner. Think of this as like a 4-season shoe now. If the last one was definitely built for like colder mileage, this one right here is definitely for all year round. So much so that I thought that my feet was actually gonna be a little bit cold when I ran in this shoe. The previous version, very bulky, definitely just like built to like take a licking and keep on ticking. I believe these will still be pretty durable, but I like the versatility. Also, when I sweat in these shoes, I'm not getting that kind of like soaked over feeling, which is certainly what happened in the previous version. You got swooshes everywhere. It's more checks in here than the first of the month in the bank. I love this colorway. It reminds me of like the old school Reacts. And just when I thought this shoe couldn't go any further, they got the message, y'all. They brought us back a pull tab. Let's go! I'm so excited about this, particularly because I went on a full-on rant and actually went viral for me at least on YouTube. And I had no idea that they would think to add this to the Invincible. So I'm definitely thankful. And also it's very functional. I'm a big appreciator of it. Thank you, Nike. Now, let's talk about the bad. The fit wasn't the best. I went with my usual 11.5. One of the things I noticed in this version is that the toe box felt a little bit more cramped than I would have liked. It's not a bad fit by any means, but that felt a little more cramped. The mid-fit all by itself was pretty fine. I do find that I have to lace it all the way to the top in order to get the tongue to lay down just the way that I'd like to. But the real issue with the fit actually happens in the counter. They stripped out so much cushioning that they took out the cushioning that I liked, which was towards the heel. I felt like I had more of a secure fit around that. And so as a result, it does feel like my heel is going to come out sometimes. It's one of the things you have to just kind of get used to. But I realized that with the Invincible previous versions, I didn't have to worry about that. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Next up, the laces. I feel like this is supposed to be a high mileage shoe, and I preferred the lacing in the previous version because it was thicker. It kind of just went in concert with the shoe that's going to be 300 to 400 miles. Also, the length on these is just not long enough. I've got to not only lace it up to the top in order to get that secure fit in there, but I just feel like these are thin. Now, I generally just don't have time, but for $180, I might have to consider just changing out the laces so that I can get the type of fit that I want. So I would hope that in any other update, they correct that. That one to me is a small thing to fix and it'll make a big difference. Last, and this really is least, and I'm just picking right now, this sticker doesn't make sense to me. There's nothing going on with the rest of the shoe, minus this nice subtle check that you have here. This felt off brand. Like this felt like something that maybe could have been on the box, a removable sticker or something like that. This to me is definitely just kind of messes up the design aesthetic, and so I would like to see that corrected or updated, just something a little bit more creative in future versions. When it comes to price, $180 I feel like is the right price for this shoe. You're getting so much ZoomX in this shoe, and the next shoe that you have to get in order to get more overall cushioning would have to be the Alpha Fly, which is almost $100 more than that. So in terms of who I recommend this shoe for, pretty much anybody who likes to have a premium recovery experience. There's not a better shoe, in my opinion, available in terms of max comfort that's going to have you with that post-race feeling, post-run feeling. You can find good use for these on your easier days, before your workouts, after your workouts, just walking around. And that's one of the other things that I thought about with this shoe, is that this shoe actually kind of puts itself in the position to be a great walking shoe as well, now thanks to that wider base. And I've seen a lot of sneakerheads commenting on the shoe as well. Like, it's a cozy, comfy shoe. For my rotation, look, LeBron James is spending $1.5 million on recovery. I think I can go ahead and kick out 180, to take care of my feet. I've been using these primarily as my easy/recovery mileage, which is a lot of what I'm doing these days lately. And I definitely love this shoe on pre and post workouts. Nothing like going from a highly cushioned, a little bit heavier shoe to something lightweight and then back to something heavier, nice and secure. And I just kind of walk it around in them as well. With the ZoomX midsole, soft yet stable ride, and much improved upper, the Nike 3 pushes the boundaries of what a cozy running shoe can be. It still remains to be seen whether or not a cozy running shoe like this one could be the running shoe of the year. Now, if you're looking for the ideal shoe to pair these with, check this video out, and if you're looking for something else, check this out. I'll see you next time. Jordan Thomas, peace.